Hey, what's up? We are looking at how to solve equations with variables on both sides. Okay, we're not freaking out because you got the skills you need. We're going to look at this process on your screen right here. So first, we always want to look for distribution. Then we want to combine like terms. Balance, which is using those inverse operations to undo things, create zero pairs, get us to 1. And then we have our final answer. So for your reference on the right side, you see what those inverse operations are: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, squares and square roots, cube and cube root, right? Like all these things are what we're going to use to help us be successful. All right, so let's try this. On the left, you see the guide. That's kind of just my mental guide. How do I get through an equation? Things to remember. Okay, so here we go. We have our equation: 2 times the quantity 3n minus 5 equals negative 4 times the quantity 4 times 4 plus 3n. Let me read correctly. All right, so the first thing I want to do is distribute. Remember, distribute is multiplication. Wherever I see parentheses, that means distribute. Okay, so distribute means take that front number times everything inside. So I have 2 times 3n, and then I have 2 times negative 5, mind the sign, right? 2 times negative 5 equals, we're treating it as two separate expressions. Do not cross the equality sign. Keep everything on the left for now, everything on the right for now. All right, so here we go. We have negative 4, and we need to multiply that through. So I'm going to have negative 4 times 4, and then I have negative 4 times 3. Whoa, let me make that not so gross, guys. Negative 4 times 3n. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to simplify my work. So I have 2 times 3n, which will give me 6n. And I have 2 times negative 5, which is going to give me negative 10. Equals. Remember, I haven't crossed my equal signs. Don't do anything across the equal signs. All right, I have negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. And then I have negative 4 times 3n is negative 12n. Okay, now we've distributed. Let's look if we can combine anything. On the left, I have 6n, and I have negative 10, not like terms. And then I look on the right side, negative 16 and negative 12n can't combine. Remember, we're not going across the equal sign. We look at each side separately. Okay, so we don't have any like terms to combine. So now we're going to start moving things around. This is where we create the balance. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other so that we don't lose our balance with our equation, or else we create something totally different and it's not the same. All right, so we want to get the variable on one side and everything else on the other side. And it doesn't matter which way you move it, we should end up in the same spot. So don't get caught up in like, which way am I supposed to move it? As long as the numbers get on one side and the variable gets on the other, we're okay. All right, so we do this by creating some zero pairs first. We're gonna do that addition and subtraction. So I'm gonna move this negative 10. I want to get it away. I'm gonna isolate my 6n over here. So I'm creating a zero pair. If it doesn't add to 0, then I did it wrong. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0. That's what we want. If I'm adding 10 to one side, I have to add it to the other to keep it the same equation. All right, so then I'm left with 6n. I zeroed out my 10, so equals. And now I have 16, negative 16 plus 10 is negative 6. And then I have my negative 12n. I haven't done anything with it yet. Okay, cool. I have my constants on one side, but now I need to get this variable to the other side with that 6n. So I'm going to zero this out. Since I'm subtracting it, I'm going to add. And if I do it to one side, keep the balance by doing it to the other side. Okay, I'm left with 6 plus 12n gives us 18n equals my n zero out on the right, so I'm left with negative 6. Okay, so our variables are on one side, our constants are on one side. Now we want to get to a coefficient of 1. Right now I have 18. Divide by that coefficient gets me to 1. 18 divided by 18 is 1. Keep the balance, do the same thing to the other side. So I get n equals negative 6 over 18, but we want to simplify that, okay? 6 and 18 can both be divided by 6, so this would be negative 1/3, okay? That is solving equations with variables on both sides. All right, let's do it again. Okay, don't get scared with that fraction. Okay, there's a lot going on here, but we can do it. So first thing I'm looking for is distribution. Look for those parentheses. Okay, so I know I have this, and then on the right side, I have that. Okay, this -8 is not part of my story yet. Let's do our distribution. I have 1/2 times 8. 1/2 of 8 is going to be 4x. And then 1/2 times -6 is going to be -3. Okay, I have this -8 still. Make sure you don't lose it or we cry sad tears. All right, on the right side, 2 times -5 is -10. 2 times x is going to be positive 2x. Okay, I've distributed, my parentheses are gone. All right, now I'm looking for like terms. So I look on the left first. Oh, hey, I have a -3 and a -8. So I'm going to keep the 4x because it doesn't have any other x's. And then I see that -3 and -8 gives me -11 equals. And now I'm going to look on the right side. I have -10 and then I have 2x. Oh, those aren't like terms, so they stay exactly how they were. Okay, now it's time to start moving. We combine like terms. Let's start moving things around. Okay, so I'm going to zero out my 11 and keep the balance. Again, you check that by saying -11 plus 11 is 0. Good. If it isn't a 0, you didn't zero it out. Okay, so I have 4x equals -10 plus 11 is 1. And then I have the plus 2x. And now I want to get that variable on the same side. So I zero it out on the right so I can move it to the left. 4x minus 2x is going to be 2x equals 1. And those variables are zeroed out on that side. And the last thing we do, we have 2 x's, but we want it to be 1. So whatever that coefficient is, divide by that. Do the same to the other side. That reduces to 1x equals 1/2. That is how you solve variable equations with variables on both sides. Go step by step, just be methodical, keep your work organized, and mind your signs.